Hello, good morning, and how are we doing today? Thank you for joining me for 30 minutes of dyslexia with Blessing Ingyape. Today I'm quite early, so if you're watching this live, that's amazing. If you're watching live, let me know you. Just kindly drop hello and let us know where you're connecting from. And if you're watching the replay, just type hashtag replay gang. Thank you. I had to come in early today because I have an engagement at 10 a.m. And 30 minutes of dyslexia is an important session for us here at Dyslexia Help Africa because it is a time where you get encouraged, a time where you get to know more about dyslexia. It is a valuable time, short but very valuable. And you have been following us last week, Saturday, we had quite an emotional session with our two teenagers, preteen and a teenager, Fatima and Chiamaka. And it was simply, life changing watching them share their story, share their classroom experience, share their learning difficulty, share how dyslexia has been for them. These are two girls who have been diagnosed with dyslexia. And if you missed that session, please just go through the Dyslexia Help Africa group and you see it. Okay, it is alive before this one. You will see. Thank you so much for being here. So, on that, thank you, Mrs. Maria, for joining me this morning. So, on the show last week, we spoke about Fatima's artistic ability, and I was to send some pictures to you. I actually uploaded them here to my stream. Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe it's because of network. It is. Let me see if it will show. Let me show you some of our work before I post them. Let me try again because here it's looking dark. I can't see it. Yes, so it says the same thing. And there's a very beautiful flower that I'm trying to show you here that she did. And these are all paintings that she did on Zoom, but it's not, I think maybe it's the network. It's just dark, 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 dark. I'm not surprised. The weather is quite cloudy here and it's been raining for a few days now. I know how it can be here in Nigeria when the rains come. It just affects light, it affects everything. Okay, so today is a quick one because I need to run, but of course, I can't let Saturday pass by without talking to you about some amazing tips that will help. Thank you, Happiness, for joining me. Well, Happiness, I feel like I haven't seen you in ages. Good to good to see you here. Okay, so today is going to be short. Yesterday, yes, I posted something about ensuring that your students know that you love them. It is a very important part of your class. No matter how perfect your class is, if your kids don't know that you love them, there might be a problem. So it's important they know that you care. It's important they know that you love. And usually when I post things like that, I get genuine questions from educators, and I love people like that who want to know how. I remember there was a period I was posting a lot about behavior management and about different ways you can, you know, give kids consequences or correct them without having to flog them. And why some people were ranting and talking about they had beaten them when they were younger and they didn't die. So, I mean, all of that. Others were asking, so if we don't flog them, what else should we do? And that is the true heart of someone who wants to learn. Okay, that is the true heart of someone who wants to learn. Not that because you have always done something a particular way, you're unwilling to change, you're unwilling to reason. It means it is all about you and not even about the student. Because if it is about the students, you'll be like the other educators who are asking, so if we don't flog them, how else should we correct them? Now, that's a very genuine question of someone who doesn't know any other way and is willing to learn. Then others who will say they were flogged. So even if they flog other kids, would they die? Times change, times are evolving. And like I always love to tell educators, in this 21st century, believe me, it is even more painful for a child when you take away their tab or digital device than when you flog them. Hmm. Truly. I mean, try with your kids. Some of them will prefer, please just flog me and let me have the tab than for you to take the tablet away from me for some days. So this is a new generation, okay? And if you're going to discipline them, you need to find ways that will work for them. Most kids now, when you flog, turn out to be stubborn. I've had to speak with families or parents who have kids that are two, and they'll tell me that when they flog, spank their baby for doing something wrong, the baby will not even cry. Ah, that this cane self, she has decided to just stop. I mean, that is a child who is two. So what do you want to do? How else can you correct when the cane fails? So it's important, you know. And if you've missed those sessions on behavior management, I'm hoping to do them again very soon. So keep watching. Okay, so like I was saying, people got into my inbox and they were like, okay, so does that mean after my kids, I love you, I love you, I love you, or my students, I love you for them to know that I love them? No, it's not even about saying the I love you, because for male teachers, especially if you're teaching teenagers, yeah, that might not even be an appropriate thing to always say or to say because you might be misunderstood. So the good thing is that love is an action word. Okay, that's the amazing thing about love. It's an action word. People even feel your heart and your action more than the words. So you don't have to bother so much about the words. For someone like me, because I'm a lady and I some of my kids who are, I mean, it's just sometimes it's just easy for ladies, than for guys. Like if you're teaching 5, 6 years old, 8 years old, totally fine if you say, I love you, have a good night. You're teaching a 13-year-old, a 15-year-old as a male, you want to be very careful. If you want to say, I love you. I had one of my students who, one of the teachers said, You're my best friend. And she did not let the word rest. He said, I'm his best friend. Oh, he said, I'm his best friend. So the teacher was getting a little bit comfortable, with all of that. Then, of course, she was saying it from an innocent heart. So I understand some of these things. So you want to be very careful, especially if you're a male teacher. So that's some of the ways your kids can get to know that you love them without even saying, I love you. I have four things here that are very beneficial. One, if you truly love them, there's something about love that if you truly love them, it's a hard thing. You can't hide it. You know, they just know that you love them. So first of all, it has to start that you really do love them. So don't think of doing any of this 4 points I'm about mentioning if you don't even care about the child. So you just, since Blessing said, if we do these 4 things, the child will know we love them. Well, I don't love this child. I don't care about them, but let me just do. No, it has to first of all start from the fact that genuinely in your heart you love them. Okay, genuinely you love your job, and it will be easy for you to love them if you love your job. If you don't love your job, I don't know how possible it is for you to love the kids. So genuinely love what you do. Okay, genuinely love what you do, and it will be easy. Oh, what's this? It will be easy to love your kids. Okay, so encourage them. Yes, always encourage your students. I had an experience on okay, one of the days this week, and asked my student to read. She actually read the passage, and it was now time for her to read it again. So I was like, okay, so read it again. And I was surprised at what she said. She said, I'm afraid. For me, that's a very big word. So I had to pause. See, words like that are not words you just push away and say, how can you say I'm afraid? Will you read that thing, Joe? No. When words come out, especially from children, you want to pause because words are powerful. You want to pause and address that. So I told her, wow, that is a strong word. Why would you be afraid to read? Why do you say you're afraid to read it? Because she just read it. And then she told me that, yeah, that she just read it, but she read it with her heart pounding, her heart was beating, that she might make a mistake. So she's afraid to read. Wow. Now, I wouldn't have even known that she read that first passage with her heart pounding. That means that there are probably some mistakes that she made, that she made them not because she doesn't know the word, but because she read it out of fear, afraid of words, afraid that she might not read it perfectly well. So I had to take the time, about 5 minutes, to talk to her, about not being afraid. And thank God there are people of faith, which I am too. So it was an opportunity to talk to them about the scriptures too, and about what Jesus says about fear. That He has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. Okay? And that she can do, she should not be afraid, especially not in this class, because I'm not going to judge her. I'm here to help her read. So if she makes mistakes, I'm going to correct her. So you need to encourage them. Sometimes they read badly. Yes, I'm going to let them know that. Now you have to strike a balance. Encouraging doesn't mean that when they read badly, or when they read, they misbehave, you still encourage and say, good job. No, that's not how it works. And that's why I say all of this has to come from a heart of love. If you're doing it because you love them, it's always better and easy. So I'm going to say this read wasn't exactly amazing. I can see that you put a lot of hard work to it, but this wasn't amazing. I believe that you can do better. I know you, and I know what you can do. And I believe that this is not your best. So can we read that again? And then can you do better? So you can see, I have not encouraged mediocrity, but at the same time, I have not discouraged them. Okay. And one thing that has always helped me is what I call the sandwich method when you're correcting people. Okay. First, the first bread, let them know the good thing they have done. All right. And then in the middle of it, hit them with that thing that they have done that is not correct. Then, as you end the last sandwich bread, end again with an amazing comment. So let's give an example. I can see you really put a lot of hard work into reading this. Well done. However, that wasn't your best, and I believe you can do better. So are you willing to try reading this again? So you can see that's like a sandwich. I've told you that yes, you did well, you put in hard work, but it's not your best. But then you can do better if you read again. So that's a really important way of correcting people, and not just students, even adults. That works. Nobody wants to just hear you didn't do well, you're this, you're that. Even you don't want that. I work with a lot of people, and most times, when I hear them talk about some leaders or other people, they're like, this person doesn't, when I do something good, they don't ever tell me, well done, or you've done a great job. But when it's something terrible, they are quick to correct me. So it's not that the person doesn't know that what they've done is wrong and you're correcting them, but they are being rebellious towards you because you've never, acknowledged the other good stuff they've done. You're more of the you didn't do well, you didn't do well. So the sandwich method works for everyone. So encourage them then. Two, empathy. Empathy. You know, when teaching children with dyslexia, if you're not careful, you might want to ask questions like, what is hard about this? What is so difficult about this that you can't do? So you need to empathize with them, and empathizing here means putting yourself in their shoes. Okay? So this child is struggling to learn this particular letter. And you need to, in putting yourself in their shoes, you need to, it's something you have to do consciously. Sometimes you need to even talk to yourself that, okay, this is not their fault. This is a brain problem. And they don't want it as much as I want. I don't want it either. So they are not pretend, they are putting in their best, and I'm here to help them. So empathize. And if they tell you it's hard, empathize with them. If a child tells you that, like I asked my student to spell a word, and they were like, they don't know. And I was like, "But you were taught this word yesterday." They say yes, but they can't remember. I say, okay, can we find ways to help you remember? Are you ready to work your brain so we can remember? And he was like, yeah. I said, okay, so let's do this. So I had to empathize with him because he didn't remember. It's not like you mean. So what they wasted time teaching you yesterday, you cannot remember a thing. What is wrong with you? Blah 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 blah. No, you have to empathize. And in empathizing, you need to just balance things. And that's why it's really important that you should be in my mentorship class, because there are some things that you just need to know. They are not written in books, but you just need to know. Like if you get to know your student very well, you know exactly what to do. There are some times that, oh, I can't remember. And I'm like, yes, you can remember. You can do this. I know that they've learned that word over time and they can remember. I just need to push them a little. So sometimes I bring a reward. Like yesterday, I have this class with this child for an hour. It's only an hour class. But at the beginning of the class, I told him the goals of the class. I said, we're going to be looking at these words. There are about 15 of these words. Our goal for this class is for you to learn to spell these 15 words. If you're able to spell them, pronounce them, it doesn't matter how short it takes you, the class will end. So we're not going to wait for an hour before your class ends. If you're able to do this in 30 minutes, the class will end. But if you're not able to do it, the class will continue too. So you can see there was an ultimatum. And he was so excited. He did his words so well and perfectly and ended. And yes, he used about 50 minutes. So he had 10 extra minutes and he was super excited. So sometimes you want to use all of those ultimatums, but you can see that in all of it, empathize, okay? Understand that their brain is working differently, all right? Their brain is working differently. What is easy for you, what is easy for other children might be really difficult for them. Then gift, that's the third one, gift. Somebody type gift. If you're a believer like I am, you know that the greatest show of love is giving. And even in our Savior, Jesus Christ, the Bible tells us that for God so loved the world that he gave. So God loved the world and he didn't just love the world and stop there. He loved the world and he gave us Jesus. So that is a perfect example of love. When you love, you give. Okay, so give them gifts. Of course, it doesn't have to be every day, but once in a while. Sometimes you can choose their birthdays, and sometimes you don't even have to wait for their birthdays. And that's why here for that Dyslexia Help Africa, we're very big at giving our gifts, birthday gifts. Of course, it's been tougher now that we have kids scattered all over the world, but we try our best. For those residing in Abuja, you get a gift from us. And for those, yes, like the one we have in Nasarawa, got a birthday gift from us, end of the year gifts. We want to take all of these opportunities to give them gifts, to give them presents. Do not forget their birthdays. Birthdays are big, right? Hmm? Even for adults, when you forget your friends' birthdays, is a big thing. So imagine students, it's even much more exciting for them. Don't forget their birthdays. Call them on their birthdays, even if that's the only time you get to call. Send them gifts. Okay, if you can send gifts always, at least on their birthdays, believe me, they will not forget. And send them what they like. That's another thing with sending gifts for kids. Don't go and buy something that is very expensive but they don't care about. Maybe if it's a child that is not into clothes, you go and spend 15,000 naira to buy a shirt. They will prefer a water gun that is 150. So if you want to do something like that, maybe you want to do the two gifts. You can get a valuable gift, the 15,000 naira shirt, and then put the water gun. Or some kids, instead of that 15,000 naira shirt, they prefer Transformers. They prefer that, or they prefer a doll. So if you're getting a gift, okay, ensure that you're getting gifts that your kids value, that they like. Okay. All right. And then finally, rewards. I mentioned this when I was talking about empathy. Always reward them. Some teachers are very quick to punish. The reward is zero. And like I always say during behavior management classes, reward even much more than you give consequences. Even if you have kids at home to your students, reward them. Because some people are quick to quarrel. Oh, you didn't do this right. Oh, you didn't get this right. Now, when the person gets it right, how about that? Make noise about it. Okay, make it big. Yay! Celebrate them. Give them rewards. Like and for kids, reward. You know, kids are so simple. They don't need to break a bank to, excuse me. You don't need to break a bank to do all of these things. Sometimes a reward can be a certificate. Although I have a student, his reward, he prefers trophies. You know, when I even sent a certificate to him, he was asking me if that's all, that where is the trophy? So for a kid like that, a trophy reward is amazing. So when they achieve a particular goal, give them the reward and stop promising and failing. And that's another one. You say, if you finish this thing, I will give you sweet here. You'll not give sweet. You're just talking. Oh, if you finish this thing, you go and play. I'll buy you this, I'll buy you that. Especially parents. Parents can do that a lot. Keep to your promises, okay? I don't make promises that you can keep. So when I'm talking to my kids, I'm making promises and talking about rewards that I can give. Because truth is that most of they are even the ones that remind me. This is my dyslexic kids. They are the ones that remind me. Like Fatima reminded me that I said I was going to post her work, that I should watch the video again. I said it in the video that I was going to post her work, but I'm yet to post it. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm going to do it. So she went back, rewatched her video, and sent me a message that Miss B said you're going to post my work and you are yet to. You said it in your video. You can rewatch it again. That place where she told me that I can rewatch it again was what got me. So, who can remember the 4 things we've mentioned today as I wrap up? 1, encourage them. So if you're following, thank you, Mrs. Maria Roberts. You've been following and you've been typing them down for us. Thank you. 1, encourage them. 2, show empathy. 3, give them gifts. And 4, rewards. Believe me, when you do these things, you don't even have to always say, I love you. They know that you love them. And remember, like I said at the beginning, it starts from the heart, okay? It starts from you genuinely loving them. You just have to love your kids. See, loving them just makes the work easier for you, especially if you're teaching children with dyslexia. Okay, with learning difficulties. Means that to make it as promises without fulfilling. Yeah, so stop it. Make promises that you can fulfill, and if you can't fulfill it, then please apologize. Okay, it's important that kids trust you. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you, friends, for always joining me. Like I said, I came in earlier today. So for those that might come in at 10 looking for me, they might just see this live already. You'll see that Blessing was live. So as you're watching, just type hashtag replay. Thank you. Okay, I don't know everyone who is joining me, but I can see Mrs. Maria Roberts. I can see from your chat. Yes, I can see from the chat. So only people who get to drop chats that I get to know that have joined. Happiness, thank you. Mrs. Atim, thank you. Facebook user, hello. I'm sure when I go offline, I'll get to know who you are. But for now, I can see your name because you didn't give StreamYard the freedom to post your name. So how can you do that? Attached to this video is a link, a StreamYard link. Just click on it. It's a once and forever link. When you just click on it, anytime you're on StreamYard, in the comments, either here or any other place, they will post your name and we'll get to know who is dropping a comment. All right. Thank you, everyone. I got to go now, but they are buzzing me. Have a good day. Have a great weekend. If you have questions, please feel free to drop them, okay? Bye.